Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, gentle practice. We'll bring in some movement, some mobility, move the spine around in all directions. So bring yourself to your mat. We will start seated. So find your way into a comfortable seat. I'm sitting up on a block right now. You can sit up on something as well if you like. Bring yourself into a nice upright alignment of your spine. Make any adjustments that you need to make. And then allow yourself to quiet down. If it feels okay for you, you can close your eyes or just find a soft and steady gaze. Allow yourself to let go of the rest of the world for now. Just take this time for you and your yoga practice, this sacred time with yourself, body, mind, breath, and spirit. And take a moment to check in, to notice, to observe yourself. How are you feeling today? What's going on for you? How does your body feel? How does your mind feel? What is your emotional tone? How does your breath feel? How does your energy feel? Just assessing, being curious, no judgment. Taking this time to get to know yourself. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And if you choose to bring this intention off the mat with you out into your day. Begin to check in with your breath. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling out through the nose or the mouth. Nice, deep, smooth, steady breaths. And then we'll take our thumb on each side, take your thumb to the bottom rib and your pinky finger down to your hip point, or this bony part at the front of the pelvis, the as-is or anterior superior iliac spine, this little bony prominence at the front of the pelvis. So thumb to bottom rib, pinky to that hip point. You can tuck the fingers in. And we'll take a deep breath down into the belly. Feel the belly expanding all the way around. And draw the breath up into the rib cage. Feel the rib cage expanding. And begin to find some space in between the thumb and the pinky finger. As the rib cage fills and the spine begins to lengthen, you find some axial extension through the spine as the crown of your head reaches up. And as you exhale, imagine that you could maintain this space in between the pelvis and the rib cage, keeping that spine nice and long, finding some space in between the vertebrae. And taking a few deep breaths like this, down into the belly, filling up the belly, filling up through the rib cage, all the way up to the top of the chest, and all the way around the body, front of the body, sides of the body, back of the body, and feeling the spaciousness in between the rib cage and the pelvis. And then release your hands. Just give the hands a little shake. You can flutter your eyes open now. We'll bring the palms together at the heart. Now pull the palms apart, but keep the finger pads together. Hakini Mudra or Sphere Mudra. Reach arms all the way up. Fingers reaching up towards the ceiling. Crown of the head reaching up. Spaciousness through your spine. And then palms come back down together, down to the heart. You can release the hands down and begin to gently rock your body from side to side. You can let the arms just remain at the sides, or you can let the arms begin to flow with you from side to side. And then we'll drop right fingers down underneath that right shoulder. Reach that left arm up along the ear, rooting down through the sitting bones, wiggling sides of the body long, reaching up through the crown of the head, up through the left fingers, nice and tall, and then gently folding yourself over towards the right. A breath or two here, reaching down through that left sitting bone and up and out through those left fingers. And then bring yourself up to center. Other side, release left fingers down to the mat. Right arm reaching up along the ear, nice and tall. And then we'll fold it over to the left, rooting down through that right sitting bone, reaching up and out through those right fingers. And then back up to center you come. And then we'll roll the torso around now over towards the right. Roll the torso forward and then over towards the left, and then roll yourself back and continue to circle yourself around, finding your rhythm here, keeping it nice and slow, or you can pick up the pace a little bit. If you feel any sticky spots, any areas that feel like they need a little bit more love or attention, feel free to slow down there. Stop, breathe. And then as you are ready, begin to switch the direction of your circles. And as always, just taking it nice and easy here. No need to force anything to happen. Honor wherever your body is today, whatever it has to offer you today. And then bring yourself back up to center. Then we'll take the hands behind the head. You can interlace fingers or just take fingers to back sides of the skull. Take the elbows wide. And then we'll inhale, begin to lift up the heart, lift up the gaze. And as you exhale, gently begin to curl yourself in, begin to tuck the chin down towards the chest, round through the upper back. You can wrap the elbows around the ears as you curl yourself in. And then we'll inhale again, lift up, elbows wide, heart lifts, gaze lifts. And then again, we curl it in, chin to the chest, elbows wrapping back around the ears, but nice and easy on the neck here. So no yanking, no cranking. And a few more times, just moving through this opening and closing, this little seated cat-cow movement. Bring yourself back up and then release hands from behind the head. Now extend your legs out in front of you. You could have a big or little bend in your knees. Want to start with the pelvis in a neutral alignment, natural curves of the spine. So if you feel that your pelvis is rolling back and you're rounding out through the back, then definitely Put a bend in the knees, big or little, and sit up on something if you're not already sitting up on something. Reach arms up along the ears. We'll begin to fold it forward, hinging from the hips, taking the belly to the thighs, hands reaching towards the feet or towards the mat. And then you can allow yourself to fold in here, find a little bit of rounding through the spine. And then take the arms back alongside you, let them sweep up the mat. So you bring yourself back into Dandasana, reach the arms up. And then we'll fold it in, belly comes back to the thighs, hands reaching towards the feet or the legs. And then again, sweep the hands back up the mat. You come back into your Dandasana, and then arms reach up again. And then we fold it in. Once or twice more. And then bring yourself back into your Dandasana. Fingers underneath the shoulders, press down into the fingers. Sit up nice and tall. Crown of the head reaching up. Heels pressing down into the mat. Legs active. And then we'll cross shins. Take it into a table, so hands will come forward. Step your feet back. From here, we'll roll through some cat-cow from our table. So we'll inhale, tilt the tail up, let the belly soften. Draw the heart forward through the arms, lift the gaze. And then as you exhale, we'll round it in. Chin to the chest, round up through the back, press into the hands, tail drops down. A few more times as you roll through. And then bring yourself back into your table. Now we begin to side bend over to the right. Begin to look over towards that right hip. And then bring yourself back to center. And we'll side bend over to the left. Gazing over towards that left hip now. And then back through center. Again, side bending to the right. Come back through center. And then begin to gaze over towards left hip. And then bring yourself back to center. Root down into the hands. We'll send that right leg back, hip level-ish. Stay here. Or root into the right hand and reach forward with that left arm. Reaching out through the left fingers, back through that right heel. Or you could point the toes, send the toes back. And then release. Other side, send that left leg back. We'll reach it forward with that right arm. And then release. Begin to root into that left hand. Lighten up through the right finger pads. Begin to lift that right hand up. Right elbow reaches up towards the ceiling. You can just stay here with the right elbow reaching up, or begin to unfurl that right arm up towards the ceiling. And then we'll thread the right arm underneath the body, coming down into a little twist. Right side of the face, cheek or temple can come down to the mat. You tent the left fingers, press them down into the mat, into the floor. Stay here or begin to unfurl that left arm up towards the ceiling. Pressing down through the back of that right arm. And then left hand comes back down. You bring yourself back into your table position. Other side, root into the right fingers. Begin to lighten up through that left hand. Bend that left elbow. Begin to draw that left elbow up towards the ceiling. Keep it here or unfurl that left arm. And then we'll switch it into our little twist here. Left arm comes underneath the body. You come down onto that outer left arm. Tent the right fingers. Press them down into the floor. Stay here or reach that right arm up. Right hand comes back down. Press into that right hand and find your way back into your table. Now we'll tuck the toes under behind us. Begin to walk yourself back. Roll up onto balls of the feet. If it's available to you, you can drop the heels down. We'll turn the toes out at a little bit of an angle. Lower your bum down. So you're either here with heels down on the ground or you're up on balls of the feet. If the heels are lifted, you might want to tuck a blanket underneath the heels to give yourself a little support. We won't be here too long though. So take the palms together, elbows inside the knees, elbows pressing the knees open, at the same time finding some resistance there, knees hugging inward towards the elbows, tail reaching down towards the mat, crown of the head reaching up, nice long spine. And then we'll allow the spine to round, drop the head down. You can bring hands down to the mat, finding our flexion through the spine here. And then again, we'll bring the palms back together, elbows pressing into knees, knees pressing into elbows, tailbone dropping down towards the mat as the crown of the head reaches up, long spine. And then one more time, release the hands down to the mat, allow the spine to round, let yourself curl in. And then bring yourself back up, hands down to the mat. Press into the fingers, begin to lift your bum up, and then we'll turn the feet back in. Coming into a forward fold here. Could have a big or little bend in the knees if the hamstrings are tight. Lift the belly up off of the thighs, fold from the hips, and then bring the belly back down to the thighs. Let your head go, shake, nod your head. Sway the arms. You can take the hands down to the mat or grab a hold of elbows. Shake hips. Swing the arms. Whatever feels good here. And then we'll bring it back to center. And take hands to the hips. Press down into your feet. Lift your heart. Come up all the way to stand. And take it into Tadasana, feet about hip width, rooting down through the feet, down through that ball under the big toe, ball under the little toe, the center of the heel, rooting through the legs, lifting up through the inner legs, lengthening up through that side body, spine nice and long, standing tall. Again, let's take it into that decompression breath. Thumb to the bottom rib, pinkies to that hip point or that bony point at the front of the pelvis, the as is. You can close the eyes if you like, or again, find a soft, steady gaze. Take a deep breath here, down into the belly, feeling the abdomen expanding all the way around, drawing that breath up into the rib cage. Rib cage expands all the way around, and feeling that spaciousness in between the rib cage and the pelvis. Releasing the breath with the exhalation, imagining maintaining that space, keeping that spine nice and long. A few more breaths. And then release the hands. We'll take hands behind the head, interlace fingers, elbows out to the side, roll up onto the ball of the right foot. Begin to gently side bend yourself over towards the right. And you can shift your gaze to look up towards that left elbow if that feels okay. And then bring yourself back to center. Right heel drops down to the mat. Back to your Tadasana, elbows wide. Then we'll roll up onto ball of that left foot. And then gently begin to side bend it over to the left. Maybe the eyes peer up towards that right elbow. And then back up to center. Left heel releases down to the mat. One more time to each side. Roll up on ball of that right foot. Side bend it over to the right. And then back up to center. Releasing right heel down to the mat. We'll roll up onto ball of the left foot. And then side bend it over to the left. Back up to center you come. Left heel releases down towards the mat. Pressing down through the feet, hugging in through inner legs. Drawing in and up through the belly. Side body long. And then begin to lift up through the heart. Lay the head back. Little upper back bend. Zip up through the belly. And bring yourself back to center. And then little rounding here, chin drops down to the chest. Again, if you like, you could wrap elbows around the ears, but nice and easy on the neck. You're not using any force here. And then again, we bring it back up, open the elbows, open up through the heart, lay the head back, and then curl it in. And then open the elbows wide, release the hands down, soften the knees, begin to sway yourself, little twisting action from side to side. The knees are soft, bigger little bend in the knees. Just let yourself flow. And then bring yourself back into your Tadasana, palms together at the heart. Nice and tall, rooting through the feet, lengthening up through the crown of the head. Release the hands, come back to the back of your mat. Let's reach the arms up overhead, finding our Hakini Mudra, Sphere Mudra again. Finger pads together, palms wide, fingers reaching up. Low ribs drawing in. And then palms come back together. You draw the hands back down to the heart. Hands to your hips, soften your knees. Belly comes back to your thighs. Get your hands all the way down on the mat and walk yourself forward into downward dog. Just passing through. You can pedal out the legs if you like. Find any movement you like. And then lower the knees all the way down to the mat and find your way down onto your belly. Finding Sphinx pose, forearms to the mat. Spread the fingers wide. Root down into your finger pads. Root down in the tops of the feet. Down through the pelvis, down through the pubic bone. Begin to draw the heart forward and magnetically draw the hands back towards you. So a little bit of isometric contraction, not really moving the arms, but just finding that resistance. And then release. Now we'll take hands underneath shoulders, elbows alongside the rib cage, and begin to peel the heart up, baby cobra. Lower yourself back down. And then again, we'll peel the heart up, baby cobra. Stay here or press into your hands. Begin to lift yourself up a little bit higher into a full cobra. You can keep elbows bent. Maybe you straighten the arms. See what feels okay for you. Lift yourself up to your degree. If it feels too compressive in the low back, take yourself down a notch or two. Lower it all the way back down. And then again, press down into fingers, toes, pubic bone, lift the heart up, baby cobra, or take it all the way up, full cobra. Lower it down. One more time, lift it up for your cobra, baby cobra, or full cobra. And then release yourself down. Bring the forearms back to the mat. Now we'll bend the left knee, take that left knee out to the side. So the knee will come off of the mat. Tent those left fingers. We'll thread the right arm underneath the chest. Take the left hand to meet the right palm, and now we'll begin to take it into a twist. Peel that left arm open. And spin the heart open. And take the left hand to rest on your left hip. Maybe you can unfurl that arm out to the side. You could cactus the arm or reach the left arm up alongside that left ear. And then slowly come back over. Bring that left leg back down to where it came from. Plant that left palm. Pull that right arm out from under you. Other side, same thing. We'll take the right knee out to the right side. Tent those right fingers. And then thread that left arm underneath your chest. Right palm comes to meet the left. And then you peel that right arm open as you spin the heart open, finding your way into a twist. And then back over you come, coming back onto your belly. And then from here, find your way onto your back. Let's draw knees into the chest. Inner legs together, hands to your knees. Roll your knees around in some circles. And then switch the direction of your circles. And bring your knees back to center. Extend the legs down the mat. Reach the arms up overhead. Reaching out through the fingers, reaching down through the toes. Relax everything. We'll draw the right knee in towards the chest. Left hand to that right knee. We'll take it into another twist. Begin to draw that right knee across the body. And then you can open that right arm out to the side. And then release yourself back to center. Hug that right knee into your chest. Release the right leg down to the mat. Now hug that left knee into the chest. We'll take the right hand to the left knee. Begin to draw that knee over across the body as you open the left arm out to the side. Slowly unwind yourself. Hug left knee into your chest. Hug right knee into the chest also. Now curl yourself up into a little ball. Draw your forehead up towards the knees, curling in, curling in. And then release everything. Find your way into Shavasana. Extend the legs down the mat, arms out to the sides. Close your eyes. Relax. Let go. No need for any effort. Stay here in your Shavasana for as long as you like. When you feel complete, begin to call yourself back. Invite movement into your body. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, yawn, sigh, wiggle, stretch. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Connect in. Notice how you feel now. Notice if anything has shifted for you. Come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with ourselves. Release your hands and slowly roll yourself over to one side. Use your hands to press yourself back up into a seated position. Bring your palms together at your heart. May you feel safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with ease. May your heart be open to love, compassion, and may you know joy. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today with love and gratitude. Namaste.